Life is a journey, and the wisdom in these timeless quotes offers a compass to guide us toward intentional and fulfilling living. They remind us to embrace the present moment fully, for it is the only time we truly have. Living with courage means stepping outside our comfort zones and are facing challenges with resilience, while finding contentment and simplicity helps us appreciate the abundance that's already in our lives. Managing wealth wisely teaches us that material resources are tools to enhance life, not its ultimate goal. Pursuing wisdom requires effort, humility, and an open mind, encouraging us to grow continuously and become the best versions of ourselves. By weaving these principles, take a moment to reflect on these lessons and how they can shape your own journey toward a purposeful life. If you have found this inspiring, throw a hip to yourself. Help spread positivity and wisdom by subscribing to our channel and sharing this video with your friends and family. Together, we can build a community that thrives on meaningful living and shared inspiration. The whole future lies in the uncertainty. Live immediately. The unpredictability of the future is both a challenge and a gift. On one hand, the inability to foresee what is to come can cause anxiety and fear. On the other hand, it serves as a profound reminder of the fleeting, ever-changing nature of life. This quote invites us to focus on the present moment and cherish it as the only certainty we truly possess. It is an invitation to live fully and authentically in the now, unburdened by excessive worries about what might or might not. To truly live immediately is to practice mindfulness, to immerse ourselves in the even now with a sense of gratitude and presence. Many of us fall into the trap of postponing happiness, believing that it lies somewhere in the distant future. We think I'll be happy. The truth is that life is happening right now in this very breath, and every passing second is an opportunity to experience its richness. Consider the story of a young man named David who was deeply immersed in building his career. His days were filled with endless meetings, deadlines, and late nights at the office. His aging grandmother, who had been a significant presence in his childhood, often invited him over for dinner, but he frequently declined inciting work commitments. One day, she called him again, insisting that she wanted to make his favorite childhood meal. Reluctantly and almost out of guilt, David agreed. That evening, as he sat in her cozy kitchen, he noticed the tremors in her hands as she stirred the pot, the sign that age was catching up with her. They spent hours talking, laughing, and 2 weeks later, his grandmother passed away unexpectedly. That evening became one of David's most cherished memories, a poignant reminder of the importance of living immediately. If he had allowed his future warriors to dictate his choices, he would miss his precious time together. This story underscores the key moment of embracing the present moment. Whether it is spending time with loved ones, pursuing a passion, or simply enjoying a quiet beauty of nature, the present is where life unfolds. It is in these moments of presence that we can find joy, meaning, a connection. Living immediately also means letting go of your regrets of the past. Dwelling on what could have been or mistakes we've made only anchors us to moments that have already passed. Similarly, worrying excessively about the future, which is inherently unpredictable, drains us to energy and focus. Instead, we can choose to center ourselves in the now, where we have the power to act. We can engage with life. Practicing mindfulness is one way to cultivate this presence. Simple habits, like starting your day with a moment of gratitude, journaling your thoughts, or meditating for even 5 minutes can help anchor you in the present. When spending time with loved ones, make a conscious effort to put aside distractions like phones and emails. Look into their eyes, listen to their words, and listen to being. But similarly, when working on a task, give it your undivided attention instead of rushing through it while thinking of what comes next. By embracing the present moment, we open ourselves to the beauty of life that often goes unnoticed. The warmth of the sun on our skin, the laughter of our end, the satisfaction of completing a meaningful touch. These small moments hold immense value when we pay attention to them. Life becomes more fulfillment. The quote, The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately is a call to action. It challenges us to step out of the endless cycle of worrying about the future and regretting the past. It invites us to find joy, satisfaction, and meaning in the here and now. So take a deep breath, look around you, and embrace this moment. It is the only one and guaranteed. And then hold it. But he who is brave is free. Freedom is not merely the absence of external constraints. It is the internal relation without being fear. This form of freedom, the freedom to act, you choose, and live authentically, stems from courage. Courage allows us to step outside the boundaries of our comfort zones and confront challenges head on and take risks while being immobilized by the fear of failure or judgment. Without bravery, we remain trapped in a self-made prison, confined by doubts and insecurities, unable to embrace the fullness of life or achieve our true potential. The essence of courage lies not in the absence of fear, but in our ability to act despite it. It is a skill that can be cultivated and strengthened over time. Building courage begins with small, intentional steps that lead to greater confidence and a deeper sense of freedom. For instance, someone who fears public speaking might start by practicing in front of a trusted friend or recording themselves to gradually get comfort. Joining a supportive group like Toastmasters or seeking opportunities to speak in low-stakes settings can also help to ease this fear. With each small success, the mental chains of fear weaken and the person begins to realize their capacity for bravery. A poignant example of this truth is the story of Elena, a woman whose journey illustrates the transformative power of courage. As a child, Elena had a deep love for painting. She would spend hours with her brushes, pouring her imagination onto canvases. However, during her teenage years, a teacher's harsh critique crushed her spirit. "You'll never be good enough," the teacher had said. From that moment, Elena stopped painting altogether, convinced that her efforts were futile and that she lacked the talent to pursue her. For years, Elena carried this self-doubt, avoiding art entirely. The fear of failure and rejection loomed large, imprisoning her creativity. One day, however, she stumbled upon a community art event in her neighborhood. Inspired by the vibrant works on display and the stories of others who had overcome similar fears, Elena decided to pick up her brush again. At first, her hands trembled as she painted in the privacy of her small apartment. She created simple pieces and kept them hidden, fearing that others might ridicule her work. Gradually, she began to share her paintings with close friends who praised her talent and encouraged her to continue. Buoyed by their support, Elena took the bold step of posting her artwork online. To her astonishment, she received overwhelming positive feedback from strangers who admired her creativity and authenticity. Some even shared how her paintings inspired them to revisit their own forgotten dreams. Elena's courage not only freed her from the fear of judgment, but also vitally ignited a vital part of her soul that had been dormant for years. Today, she is a passionate advocate for creativity and courage, often sharing her story to inspire others. Her journey exemplifies how bravery, lead to freedom from self-doubt, and freedom to fulfillment. Elena's story is a reminder that courage is not a monumental act reserved for the extraordinary moments of life. It is found in the small, deliberate choices we make every day, whether it's voicing your opinion in a meeting, reaching out to someone who you admire. Consider times when you overcame fear and experienced positive outcomes. Let those memories serve as proof of your inner strength and a foundation for future acts of bravery. Moreover, it is essential to reframe failure as a natural and necessary part of growth. Fear of failure often paralyzes us, but by viewing setbacks as learning opportunities rather than roadblocks, we can diminish their power over us. The most successful individuals are not those who avoid failure, but those who persist despite it, learning and growing along. Freedom is the ultimate reward for those who dares to be brave. When we conquer fear, feeling like the ability to live authentically, to explore our potential, and experience life without the weight of self-imposed limitations. This freedom allows us to embrace who we are and pursue what truly matters to us, unburdened by the fear of judgment or failure. Courage is the bridge that leads us to this freedom. It is not an innate trait that some possess and others lack, but a skill that anyone can cultivate with practice and perseverance. By taking small, intentional steps, reflecting on past successes, and embracing failure as a stepping stone, we can build a life defined not by fear, but by authenticity, resilience, and purpose. In the end, the brave are truly free because they have chosen to face life's uncertainties with an open heart and a willing spirit. As Elena's story reminds us, every act of courage, no matter how small, is a step toward liberation and a life lived fully. Let this truth inspire you to take that first step, because he who is brave is indeed free. It is in no man's power to have whatever he wants, but he has it in his power not to wish for what he hasn't got, and cheerily to make the most of the things that give way. This quote holds a timeless truth that resonates deeply with the human experience. It encapsulates the essence of contentment, the profound ability to find joy and satisfaction within the bounds of our reality. At its core, it suggests that while we cannot control the external world or fulfill every desire, we can control how we perceive into our potential. This shift from yearning for what is out of reach to cherishing what is already in our hands is the key to peaceful and fulfilling life. Human desires are infinite by nature. There is always something more to want. Whether it is wealth, success, recognition, or material possessions, the resources, opportunities, time available to us are limited. This fundamental match often leaves people feeling dissatisfied or incomplete. However, the edge though lies not in acquiring everything we think we need, but in mastering our desires, learning to appreciate the present. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we move from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. To understand this, consider the story of Emily, a woman who once dreamed of owning her own bakery. Baking had been her passion since childhood, and she envisioned a bustling shop filled with customers enjoying her creations. However, financial constraints and life's predictability led her down a different path. Instead of opening a bakery, Emily began baking from home, taking small orders from friends and neighbors. Over time, her kitchen became a hub of warmth and connection, where people came not only for her delicious pastries, but also for her infectious. One day, a friend asked Emily if she regretted not achieving her dream of a grand bakery. Emily's response was simple yet profound. At first, I did. But then I realized that the essence of my dream wasn't about the shop itself. It was about sharing my love for baking with others. And I'm doing that now in ways I never imagined. And my kitchen might be small, but the happiness that brings is boundless. Emily's story illustrates the power of perspective. Instead of fixating on what she didn't have, she found contentment in the opportunities life had given her. Joy came not from the size of her bakery, but from the relationship she built and the happiness she spread through her craft. She exemplified the principle of making the most of what comes your way and finding peace in the present. To adopt this mindset in your own life, start by practicing gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present, fostering a sense of abundance. Begin each day by noting 3 things you are thankful for. These don't have to be monumental. You can know small joy. When faced with challenges or setbacks, challenge yourself to find the silver lining. For instance, if you face a career setback, such as being overlooked for a promotion, instead of dwelling on disappointment, consider how this could be an opportunity to reassess your goals. Learn new skills or explore other paths that might bring greater fulfillment. And then by viewing obstacles, positive change, simplify your desires by focusing on what truly adds value to your life. In a world that often equates success with material wealth or social status, it can be easy to lose sight of what genuinely matters. Reflect on the aspects of your life that bring you the deepest joy. In relationships, health, personal growth, and meaningful experiences. These are the treasures that cannot be bought or replaced. By aligning your desires with your values, you reduce the gap between what you want and what you have. You're creating a sense of harmony. Contentment does not mean settling for less or giving up on dreams. It means finding peace in the present while working toward a better future. It's about balancing ambition with appreciation, striving without becoming consumed by the pursuit. Like Emily, you can pursue your passions and aspirations while cherishing the journey. even if it looks different from what you initially envisioned. This philosophy is not just about individual happiness, but also about building stronger communities and relationships. When we focus on what we have, we become less envious and more generous, less competitive and more collaborative. We begin to celebrate others' successes without feeling diminished by them. This shift in mindset fosters a sense of connection and collective well-being, creating a ripple effect of positivity. Ultimately, the power to lead a fulfilling life lies not in controlling the external world, but in mastering our inner world. By embracing gratitude, reframing challenges, and focusing on what truly matters, we can find joy and meaning in the here and now. As the quote reminds us, happiness is not about having everything we want, but about wanting everything we have. In this way, we can transform our lives from a restless pursuit of more to a peaceful celebration of enough. Gratitude and celebration of enough. Wealth is the slave of a wise man. The man will get wealth as a abstract concept is not a neither inherently good nor bad. It is a neutral entity that takes on meaning based on the intentions and actions of the individual who possesses it. This quote profoundly encapsulates Dorian trader wealth and its impact on human behavior. A wise person sees wealth as a tool, a resource to create opportunity, achieve meaningful goals, and bring original goals and bring more minutes to the light of it. The bullshit. For a fool, however, wealth becomes a master, dictating decisions, shaping self-worth, and often leading to destructive outcomes. Consider the story of Sarah and James, cousins who both inherited money under very different circumstances. Sarah, a young entrepreneur, inherited a significant amount of money after the unexpected passing of her parents. The weight of the inheritance was overwhelming. However, Sarah took the time to reflect on her parents' values, their hard work, and the purpose of the wealth they left behind. Guided by their legacy, she decided to use the money to invest in meaningful causes. She established scholarships in her parents' names, funded local charities that aligned with their beliefs, and even started a sustainable business focused on environmental conservation. Sarah's choices illustrate the mindset of a wise individual. She saw wealth not as a means to indulge in extravagance, but as a resource to honor her parents' memory, uplift others, and bring positive change to her community. By treating money as a servant, she remained in control of her decisions and stayed true to her values. In stark contrast, her cousin James received a smaller inheritance but approached it with an entirely different mindset. James viewed money as a status symbol and an opportunity to impress others. He immediately splurged on a luxury car, designer clothing, and extravagant vacations. For a brief moment, he felt a rush of validation as friends admired his newfound lifestyle. Yet, within a year, the inheritance was gone. James had not invested or saved. He had allowed his desire for material validation to consume him. Struggling with debt and the absence of meaningful fulfillment, James found himself trapped by the very wealth he thought would bring him freedom. This juxtaposition between Sarah and James highlights the core lesson of the quote. Wealth, when viewed and managed with wisdom, becomes a servant that amplifies purpose, fosters stability, and enhances the quality of life. In the hands of someone like Sarah, it is a force for good. However, when wealth is allowed to dominate one's life, as seen with James, it can become a destructive master that erodes character and leads to dissatisfaction and destructive thoughts. It's very sad. When I think about this, the story of Sarah and James also emphasizes the importance of cultivating a healthy relationship with money. For anyone looking to ensure that wealth serves them rather than controls them, several principles can be applied. 1. Define your values. Reflect on what matters most to you. Whether it's family, education, community, or personal growth, let your financial decisions align with your core values. Today, I want to examine how to financial growth and live a life aligned with your core values. 2. Set clear financial goals. Establish short-term and long-term goals that provide direction for how you use your resources. This could include saving for your children's education, funding a passion project, or contributing to causes that resonate with you. 3. Prioritize experiences over possessions. Research shows that spending money on experiences such as travel, learning, or shared activities often brings more lasting happiness than accumulating material possessions. Simply put, that's probably true. 4. Avoid comparisons. Resist the urge to measure your financial success against others. Wealth should not be a metric of self-worth, but a tool to live a meaningful life. 5. Invest in the future. Whether it's through education, sustainable investments, or philanthropy, think about how your money can create long-term impact rather than fleeting gratification. In a broader sense, this quote also serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of materialism and the societal pressures that can lead individuals astray. In a world that often equates success with financial abundance, it is easy to lose sight of what truly matters. By staying grounded and using wealth intentionally, individuals can avoid the pitfalls of greed and impulsivity. True wealth extends beyond monetary possessions. It includes time, health, relationships, and the ability to contribute meaningfully to the world. A wise person recognizes this and uses their resources to enhance these facets of life. Conversely, a fool becomes consumed by wealth, mistaking it for an end rather than a means, and ultimately loses the very essence of what makes life fulfilling. Sarah's story stands as a testament to the power of intentionality and wisdom in managing wealth. Her choices not only brought her personal fulfillment, but also inspired those around her to rethink their relationship with money. By using wealth as a servant to enrich her life and the lives of others, she ensured that her parents' legacy would endure and that her financial resources would create a ripple effect of positive change. And ultimately, the choice is ours to make. Will we let wealth serve us, or will we become enslaved by it? The answer lies in our ability to master our relationship with money, keeping perspective, purpose, and balance at the forefront of our financial journey. No man was ever wise by chance. Wisdom is not something that comes to us by mere accident or the whims of fate. It is a treasure earned through intentional effort, reflection, and a deep engagement with the world around us. This quote reminds us that wisdom requires a deliberate process of growth and learning. It is not bestowed upon individuals arbitrarily, nor is it an inherent trait that some possess while others do not. Instead, it is cultivated through perseverance, curiosity, and a commitment to self-improvement. True wisdom is forged in the fires of experience, often through mistakes and failures that, when examined thoughtfully, provide invaluable lessons. Every error holds a seed of growth for those willing to reflect on it. Wisdom thrives in the spaces where we actively seek to understand our own shortcomings, challenge our assumptions, and adapt to new perspectives. This process of growth is neither swift nor effortless. It demands patience, humility, and resilience. Consider the story of Anna, a young entrepreneur who learned this truth through a challenging experience. Full of ambition and enthusiasm, she launched her first product without taking the time to gather sufficient feedback or test her ideas thoroughly. Convinced that her vision was perfect, she dismissed the advice of her team and rushed through the development process. When the product launched, it failed to resonate with customers, and the business faced significant losses. For Anna, this was a deeply humbling moment. She could have chosen to give up or blame external factors for her failure. Instead, she made the courageous decision to reflect on her mistakes. Anna spent months analyzing the situation. She sought out mentors who had faced similar challenges, read extensively about market trends, and carefully reviewed the feedback she had once ignored. Through this process, she began to understand the importance of collaboration, adaptability, and listening to diverse perspectives. Her next product launched was a resounding success, not because of luck, but because of the wisdom she had earned through her struggles and self-reflection. Anna's journey illustrates how mistakes, when approached with the right mindset, can become stepping stones to greater understanding. I'm gonna break it down for you. Wisdom, as Anna's story demonstrates, is not a static trait, but an evolving quality. It grows through intentional actions, such as reading widely, engaging in meaningful conversations, and seeking out people who challenge and inspire us. Each of these activities broadens our horizons, exposes us to new ideas, and strengthens our ability to navigate life's complexities. Equally important is the practice of reflection. After every significant experience, whether a success or a failure, take the time to analyze what happened. Ask yourself, what did I do well? What could I have done differently? What lessons can I take forward? These questions are the building blocks of wisdom. To deepen your understanding, consider how small, everyday practices contribute to cultivating wisdom. Journaling, for example, is a powerful tool for self-reflection. By writing down your thoughts, decisions, and experiences, you create a record that allows you to track your growth over time. Similarly, meditation and mindfulness practices can help you develop the clarity and focus needed to examine your life with honesty and compassion. When combined with a willingness to seek feedback and learn from others, these habits create a fertile ground for wisdom to flourish. Another key aspect of cultivating wisdom is the courage to question your own beliefs and assumptions. This requires openness to the possibility that you may be wrong and a readiness to revise your perspectives when presented with new evidence or insights. It is in this space of intellectual humility that true wisdom begins to take shape. By remaining curious and receptive to learning, you position yourself to grow continuously and adapt to life's challenges with grace. Consider a common scenario: a team leader navigating a high-pressure project. The leader must balance deadlines, manage diverse personalities, and make decisions with limited information. A less experienced or less reflective leader might rely solely on intuition or past successes, assuming that what worked before will work again. However, a wise leader understands the importance of seeking input from their team, analyzing the unique aspects of the current situation, and being willing to adjust their approach as needed. By fostering an environment of collaboration and encouraging open dialogue, the leader not only achieves better results, but also strengthens their own capacity for future challenges. This example underscores the practical value of wisdom in everyday life. It is not an abstract ideal, but a tangible quality that enhances decision-making, relationships, and personal fulfillment. Wisdom enables us to navigate complexity with confidence, make choices that align with our values, and contribute positively to the lives of others. It is the culmination of countless small acts of learning and reflection, each one building upon the last. In conclusion, wisdom is not the result of chance, but the reward of consistent effort and intentional living. It grows through experiences, both triumphant and challenging, that are examined with honesty and a desire to learn. Like Anna, we all have the power to transform our mistakes into meaningful lessons and use them as a foundation for personal growth. So by committing to lifelong learning, seeking out mentors, and reflecting on our experiences, we can cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Wisdom is a journey, not a destination. And every step taken with purpose brings us closer to its profound rewards.